All right, guys. What is up, guys? Welcome to Flav Oriana's MMA show. I'm your host, Flav Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. Guys, I know it's been a while since the last time I was behind camera. Follow me on Twitter. I've been very active over there. Hope you guys have been enjoying your summers. But I'm here to talk about what went down this past couple days between the UFC 279 pay-per-view. All right, because UFC 279 is tonight, okay? And the shifting of everything from the cancellation of the press conference to people missing weight to we having a record amount of catch weights on this bout tonight. And I cannot wait to jump right into it. So we're going to start it off with the main event, all right? Well, actually, we're going to start it off with the press conference, all right? Usually, I'm always on top of these press conferences. I'm not going to lie to you. I was gonna bypass it. I'm like the NFL kickoff is on Thursday. I'm gonna watch it at halftime. Usually gonna have about 15 minutes to skim right through everything. And then I started going on Twitter, and I'm realizing, you know what? There's a lot going on. Let me see what's going on. I go on and I see Dana White, Kevin Holland, and Daniel Rodriguez, and I'm like, where is Tony Ferguson? Where is Li Jingliang? And then more importantly, where is Khamzat Chimaev and where is Nate Diaz? I go back on Twitter and I see that Dana had put out there saying that they were only going to bring out 2 fighters at a time. All right. And then I just see that the press conference gets canceled. And Dana White says the press conference is canceled due to the safety of fans and media that are in attendance to watch the press conference. And I'm like, what is going on? Seeing that there's fights all over the place. People creating fake Twitter accounts of Brett Okamoto saying that Darren Till got knocked out. I'm seeing stuff that manager Tiki Goshen was one of the people that helped stop the big brawl that ended up happening. Hearing Kevin Holland getting kicked in the chest by Khamzat Chimaev, and then Khamzat Chimaev and his team were about to go into a huge brawl between Nate Diaz and his team. A lot of stuff went down, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what is going on? I just listened to an episode on MMA fighting about the cancellation of UFC 151, and I'm thinking to myself, don't tell me this is gonna be deja vu where they're gonna cancel this card, all right? And somewhere deep down inside, I was like, this is the worst case scenario possible. We can't have this happen. Another thing that crossed into my head was Conor McGregor flying from Ireland to go to Brooklyn and getting into the backstage of the Barclays Center, throwing a dolly truck into the bus that Khabib Nurmagomedov was in. That's another thing that crossed into my head. I'm like, this is either going to be one where the UFC cancels the card, right, because of safety, or, we're going to see this on embedded. And you know what? None of that stuff even happened, okay? None of that are those options. They didn't cancel the card. The card is happening tonight. And we were all waiting for them to release the embedded vlog, right? Episode 4 got over 1 million views. All right, 1 million views because people were anticipating what was going to be shown on episode 5 of Embedded of the UFC 279 card. Right, we didn't get none of that. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, what is going on? Come weigh-ins, right? I was watching weigh-ins while I was at work. I'm seeing what's it called? Everybody's making weight. Khamzat still didn't show up. Well, I'm sorry. I take that back. There are a couple people that missed weight. Hakeem Dawodu, Chris Barnett. I excuse Chris Barnett if you actually, have been noticing what he's been going through, losing a couple family members this year. This has actually been a very tough year for Chris Barnett, so I excuse it. I mean, yes, he's a heavyweight and he missed weight. I think he's the second heavyweight to miss weight outside of Justin Tafa. So that will be a catchweight bout. That will be the largest catchweight bout in UFC history. But Khamzat Chimaev didn't weigh in up until half hour before, or 45 minutes before the clock ended up striking 0. Misses weight by 7.5 pounds. The man missed weight by 7.5 pounds. I'm like, whoa. I was like, this guy didn't even come close. I'm like, what's going to happen? First thing I thought into my head, I'm like, they're going to scratch that. They're going to bump up Tony Ferguson. And then the person that's going to get screwed over is Li Jingliang, the Leech, right? And waiting. We're all wondering what's going to happen, right? I tell you this. If you were on Twitter All right, if you're into MMA the way that I am, right, one can only imagine what you were thinking was going down during that time frame from the moment that it struck 2 o'clock up until the announcement of 6 o'clock, right? Those 4 hours, right? 4 hours we were anticipating what's going on with the card, right? I haven't yet purchased the card yet at that point because I'm usually the type of person that's like, as soon as I figure out who missed weight and who didn't miss weight, determines whether I'm gonna watch the fight at my house or I'm gonna watch the fight at a public setting. All right, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like, what's gonna go down, and you're hearing speculations that Khamzat missed weight on purpose. What's it called? Nate doesn't want to fight Khamzat. Khamzat was caught by a fan, whether that's true or not, drinking soda, drinking sparkling water, having large meals the day before weigh-ins. So everything's going through my head. I'm like, this is one of the craziest weekends leading into a pay-per-view. I'm sorry, the craziest fight weeks leading into a pay-per-view. This is bizarre, And then 6 o'clock hits. We get news from Dana White himself. He goes on SportsCenter. He goes on IG Live. All right, he whatever platforms he was on, and he announces it, saying Nate Diaz, Khamzat Chimaev, Tony Ferguson, Daniel Rodriguez, and the Leech, Lian Jing Lian, all are going to be on the card. All right, main events are going to be both 5 rounds. The main event is Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz. Okay. I had a feeling that was going to happen. There was no way they were going to be able to, make this card, a good product without having Nate Diaz as the main event. Co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland. And then the third fight from the top, you're going to have Danny Rodriguez versus the Leech, Lian Jing Lian, at a catch weight. All right. Co-main event, third fight from the top are going to be a catch weight. Phenomenal stuff right there. All right. Stuff that we speculated. Because during those 4 hours, right, there were a couple fighters trying to put themselves into that mix, all right? Jorge Masvidal, goes on Twitter, screenshots 2 plane tickets, right? Oh, I'm sorry, two time frames for plane slots, saying, guys, give me an answer, soon, so I can buy these tickets and make my way going towards Vegas, right? I'm like, wow, this will be crazy, a rematch of the BMF title, Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, sign me up. And then I see Dustin Poirier also puts out there, he weighs in. Well, actually, a fan messages him or tweets at him and asks him if he can make 170, and he ends up tweeting a photo of him on the scale at weighing in at like 176 and says, "Yes, I can make weight." So, and he was, saying that he could fight. Part of me wanted to see that fight because that was a fight that we were supposed to see a couple of years ago. And also, a part of me also didn't want that to be the case, just because that would have ruined the fact that we would not been able to see Michael Chandler versus Dustin Poirier, which that fight is actually going to be taking place on November 12th at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Okay, I know I haven't been making enough videos as of late. I've been trying to enjoy my summer. I've been very, very busy as of late, but yeah, guys, that went down last night. Crazy turn of events. Now, the betting odds, right, switched all over the place. I placed a couple of bets. I'm not going to lie to you. I had picked Khamzat to defeat Nate Diaz. I put Khamzat to win inside of 4 rounds, right? Just because I felt like if it would have went to past the 4.5 mark of past 4.5 rounds, if not going into the 5th round, Nate Diaz was going to win just due to the cardio. I know there were a couple of people speculating that Khamzat missed weight on purpose. Look, his demeanor, the way he handled things was terrible. Terrible, 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 right? I think going into all this, right, Khamzat has the most to lose and the least to gain, right? Kevin Holland, right? This guy might be our new version of Donald Cowboy Cerrone, who did retire a couple months ago. And Kevin Holland is willing to take this fight. He even openly admitted to Joe Rogan after the ceremony weigh-ins that this is a bad matchup for him, but he doesn't care. He just wants to get paid. I have a feeling that all these fighters got a big bump into pay right? Especially Li Jingliang, just because he's fighting Daniel Rodriguez. Daniel Rodriguez weighed in, I think, at 179. Lee ended up weighing in at 170. Almost a 10-pound difference, guys. Almost a 10-pound difference. And I'm thinking Lee must have got the most money because of that. All right. I know his manager, Ted Simpson, said that, he's always game to take a fight, but you had to compensate the guy. And I imagine the UFC gate are possibly giving him his biggest payday ever. But getting back to Khamzat and Kevin Holland, I really do believe that this is a must-win for Khamzat Chimaev, because if he loses, right, this could possibly be his last fight at welterweight, just because he struggled trying to make weight against Gilbert Burns, right? And you saw how he was lean as possible, right, and still missed weight by 7-8 pounds. That is a lot of weight to miss by. Betting odds, right? I have Nate Diaz defeating Tony Ferguson. All right. Only way that I can see Tony Ferguson winning, right, is if by doctor stoppage, in my opinion. All right. The cardio, the pressure, all leans into Nate Diaz. The ground game, I lean more to Tony Ferguson, right? The elbow game that's on top, right? I lean to Tony. But I think that this is going to be more of a stand-up fight with very little grappling exchanges, right, as opposed to the original main event. Co-main event, I do lean Khamzat Chimaev. I believe Khamzat is going to find a way to blow past by Kevin Holland within the first 2.5 rounds. Going into round 3, 4, and 5, all right, it's going to really determine if Kevin Holland's going to be able to hang in there, because I do give Kevin Holland a good puncher's chance in the last moments of round 4 going into round 5. All right, just because Khamzat's cardio isn't the greatest. And I also do believe that if you're going to place a bet on Kevin Holland, it's actually not a bad bet to make, just because look what happened with Khamzat Chimaev when he fought Gilbert Burns. He never fought in front of a crowd like that were getting all excited, and Khamzat fell into the trap. He started to fall into the striking game, all right, instead of just trying to out-grapple and avoid a war. His own head coach was yelling at him, telling him to stop getting into a war and follow the game plan, all right? I think a lot of those things can be played into this co-main event between Kevin Holland and Khamzat Chimaev. I think that this is going to be a mental warfare for Khamzat Chimaev, and possibly he might fall into that same trap again. If he does, this is Kevin Holland's world, and for any bettors that are going to be betting on Kevin Holland, cash those tickets in, just because you guys will get a good payday. All right. Third fight from the top, the Leech versus Daniel Rodriguez. Honestly, this is a very tough matchup for me to pick, just because the 10-pound discrepancy, right? Daniel Rodriguez hasn't fought in over a year, had 2 hand surgeries, right? So I'm playing that into factor. Plus, he is the heavier fighter. He's a more technical fighter than the Leech, so I played that into a factor as well. So that's against the Leech. Leech is a power puncher, and he's more of a knockout artist than Daniel Rodriguez. So it could go either way. I really do believe this fight might go to the distance. I think that the Leech might be able to sneak one through and probably hold off Daniel Rodriguez, all right? And then you also have your fights with Ian Kuntalaba versus Johnny Walker. I have Ian Kuntalaba winning. All Kuntalaba got to do, he got to wrestle and just hold down Johnny Walker. I don't think the chin isn't the same anymore for Johnny Walker, and Kuntalaba does have power. As for the second fight from the top, the second fight from the bottom, Macy Chasson versus Irene Aldana. I actually have Irene Aldana winning. All right. Chasson always has a tough time trying to make weight for 135. They had to make this into a catchweight bout at 140 pounds. I think that all the pounds that she ended up sucking, she's trying to cut down to 135, but couldn't do so. I think that it will affect her, and I do believe Irene Aldana has good enough power to buzz Chasson into danger and forcing Chasson to make a lot more mistakes than she would. But yeah, those are my picks, guys. That is my reaction for what ended up happening within the last 72 hours. Guys, enjoy UFC 279, Tony Ferguson versus Nate Diaz. The matchup that we all wanted from the beginning, all right? The matchup that should have happened years ago, and we're finally getting it right now. Until then, guys, I am Flavo Rihanna. Thank you for tuning in, and wait for more videos to come. Peace, guys, and have a good one. See ya.